So let's move on to our last part for tips and lessons learned. I know that the journey to becoming a dentist is a very, very, very long road. So what keeps you moving along the way? Maybe Dr. Shen, do you want to share with us first?
Yeah, it is. The dental curriculum actually is very intense. And but then along the way, you have to go through, like Dr. Lai said, 2 years of academic stuff, like the basic science, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, microbiology, pathology, and all that. In 2 years, you're done. And then after that, the other 2 years is basically seeing patients. You'll be practicing on live patient for the first time in your life. So along the way, it's actually very, very fun. I still remember the first day I cut open the cadaver and open up the body and look inside and all that. It's very exciting.
I do remember that
So,
too. Yeah. Everyone remembers their first cadaver experience. So
right. And then there's so many things to learn, and you kind of like just overwhelmed. You kind of just go along with it. And then the first day, I still remember the first tooth I pulled out. And I was very nervous. I was very, the injections you have to give to each other to practice each with our students first, and then later on you do it on the real patient, and you try to be calm, and kind of looks like this is not the first time you've given an injection, and it's really, I think, very to me was very exciting, and there's no boring moments. And but then, like I said, it's very intense. So you do have to stay focused and go through the curriculum. And before you know it, it's 4 years already, and it's time to graduate. So it's actually not too bad as long as you have the stamina and the focus to deal with it. Yeah, I don't know how you felt when you were in school, Dr. Lai.
oh yeah, it was definitely very tough for sure. But yeah, to answer the question, I think a lot of kids nowadays are scared to put themselves in a very uncomfortable situation, such as, failing. I think there's a lot of, being me as an Asian American, you have parents that are very, they push you to be the best you can be. And for me, I mean, like I said, I'm not the smartest guy. I wasn't the smartest guy in my class or anything. I wasn't top of my class or anything. But one thing that I always pride myself in was working hard. Before dental school, I went back to school actually. I graduated college, but I, didn't think that I didn't have a good enough resume to get into dental school. So I actually went back to school for a year. So there's different programs that you can go to really improve your GPA and build up a really good resume so you can get into dental school. Along that time, I worked jobs such as, selling shoes, or I've actually worked at Trader Joe's and I was bagging groceries. And so it's all about really, being very motivated and knowing that if this is what you really want to do, you have to put your mind to it. And I think that, for me personally, I've learned a lot from hardworking jobs and really going through that type of hardships of not knowing if I'm going to be in dental school or not knowing if I'm going to be a dentist or not. That really propelled me to working hard in school too. And even when you get into dental school, there's going to be so many days where you want to quit, and there's going to be so many days where you feel like this is way too hard. But with anybody, and this is kind of lost a lot of days, but if you really want something, you have to go out and work for it. And you really have to put the time and the effort to really prove to yourself and prove to the people around you that you're ready to be a doctor. And you earn that doctor next to your name because of all the hard work that you put in and all the hardships that you go through. So my lessons to kids who want to be dentists or people who want to be dentists is that yes, there's going to be a lot of days where you're going to be doubting yourself of, hey, this is really what I really want to do. If what did I get myself into? But if you really want something and you really want to earn something and you really want to make something in your life, you have to put in the hard work. And that's something that I've learned through all my hardships of of doing random jobs and of going through multiple years of school. So, I think with anybody, it's easy to say that you want to be something, but you really have to put in the hard work to do it. And I think it's it doesn't seem worth it at the time when you're working hard, but once you accomplish that and you get your diploma and you get to call yourself a doctor and you get to work in a profession like we are in, I'm sure Dr. Shen would probably say that too. Like, you know, after you get your diploma and you're a doctor now, it's a very rewarding experience, and it's something that you can be proud of for the rest of your life. And you know, some people quit dentistry right out of school, and some people don't want to go into private practice. But if you're able to accomplish that, you know, that's a very big accomplishment in your life, and that's something that you can take through the rest of your life. And you know, and that's something that's like I said, very rewarding.
When we were in dental school, we made a lot of good friends too. There are a lot of your classmates, you know, and I actually housed with 3 other dental students together. All 4 of us, we lived in a house, and I think that really helped too. You know, have good friends, your classmates, and you support each other. We talk things over, and we complain together, and
Yeah,
just kind
that's
of
for
like
sure. You complain a little, you
yeah.
complain a
So
lot.
I think that lights up your load, and that kind of you take care of each other also. That
Yeah, I mean,
helps.
I've met some really good friends in dental school, and I've actually also met my future wife in dental school too.
Oh,
So,
Ooh.
yeah, so I mean, so that there's things like that too. So, um, you know, it's very dentistry is a way, dental school is a way of really, you know, bringing people together, and it's because you have to go through so many hardships that really brings you to have, you know, your best friends, and in my case, my future wife.
so Dr. Shen, and Dr. Lai, do you agree that you recommend the dentistry job to your friends and family? Or let's say if you have your future family, would you also have your kids to do that, the same as you?
Most definitely. I think it's the best job, actually, especially orthodontics, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you know dentistry is a healthcare, right? So recession proof. Um, you, you always can have a job, and you can actually work for somebody if you don't want to be too bogged down with running a business. You always can find a job in a dental office that people will hire you as a dentist, and you can decide how many days you want to work. You can work 1 day a week, or you can work 5 days a week, and also it gives you a good income. You know, it always can. You don't have to worry about, you know, am I going to make it um, as a dentist? And it's very rewarding financially, I think. And also, you get to meet people, you know, and so you get to help people, and it's very rewarding. Like every time you go home, you feel like, oh, I've accomplished something. You know, it's not like, what did I do today, right? So you always were able to help somebody in that one day, at least, you know, all the people that you've gone through your practice every day. And even though some of them are just cleaning the teeth or and doing a checkup and all that, but actually it's you get to talk to the people, like you said, like Dr. Lai said, you get to know them, and you actually end up with a lot of friends too. Yeah, it's a sacred job, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with you, Dr. Shen.
Yeah.
I I've got some questions lining for the Q&A later on, but let me just ask our guest speaker the last question. I'm just a bit curious, what would you do if you did not pursue the dental career? Do you want to
Dr.
go
Shen, do you want
first,
to go,
Dr.
or do
Lai?
you want me to go?
Yeah, I
I'll
can
yeah.
go.
You know what? If I was not a dentist,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would most likely be into sports. Probably like a personal trainer, or actually I was studying to become a personal trainer. But you know, it's road took me somewhere else. Probably either, yeah, working personal training or physical therapy. That'll be my sports medicine for sure.
Okay. What about you, Dr. Shen?
You know, I always, since I was a kid, I always like to fix things. You know, even now I like to fix things. So I'm most likely I'll be a repair person right now. Maybe repairing iPhones or computers, or maybe dishwashers.
Yeah,
My
that's
joy. That's my joy.
interesting. That's interesting to know. But do you agree that to be a orthodontist or like dentist, you need to have a good sense, like you need to be artistic in some way? Like you need to have a good sense of.
Well, I
Mhm.
think there's two parts to that. You know, I'm probably one of the worst drawers like
Mhm.
ever. My parents can and my everyone can attest to that, that I'm really bad at art. But when it comes to making a tooth look like a real tooth, I definitely have been really well trained to really make sure that, you know, when you leave my office, you're going to have a great smile. You're going to have a great, you know, great restoration. So I think being an artist, yes, that definitely works. You definitely have an eye for doing great dentistry.
Mhm.
But if you're not a great artist, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be a great dentist. That's one thing, is that if you learn the anatomy of the teeth, you know, how your technique of preparing a tooth or fixing a tooth, you're going to be able to make amazing restorations and amazing smiles. So don't worry if you're not the best drawer, or you're not, you know, Mozart, you know, playing the violin or something, or the piano or something. But you know, definitely, you can learn how to be a great dentist.
Thank you, Dr. Lai. Dr. Shen, do you have anything to add on? If not, I
Yeah,
know.
I agree. I agree
Mhm.
100%. You know, dentistry can be trained, can be learned. You know, but if you have a good artistic skills and good dexterity, I think you enjoy more. You know, but anybody can do dentistry, I think, and especially if you are very focused and you have the intelligence to learn and to become a very good dentist. Mhm.